side. Excuse me. Can't leave home without him. How you guys doing today, man? Pastor Joe, so happy to be with you again. I want to first say thank you and a shout out to all the guys that participated during the email or on Facebook as to where was I, Pastor Joe, last week. A lot of you got it right, but one guy said Tennessee. What's up with that? Tennessee? Really? Anyway, today I'm at a different location. You're more than welcome to take a look behind me and around me, try to figure out where I am. But the location is not that important as to what I want to share about the location. A little while ago, actually a few days ago, I was out here and I was on the ocean kayaking and enjoying myself. So that's the first clue, you know that we're near water, if you didn't figure that out before. But I was kayaking and I was out here and I was enjoying God's beautiful creation. I was out here with my wife and we were kayaking, and the morning was great. But then in the afternoon when we tried to get back, we ran into some issues. There was an undercurrent and there was a strong overcurrent, an undertow. And through a series of events, I flipped my kayak several times. I started treading water. I was so tired, I couldn't keep going. And then all of a sudden, I was ready to give up. I thought my life was over. I thought that was it. And I remember thinking, God, how could it be possible that you're gonna let me die on the day before Father's Day? And that's the memory I'm gonna leave my kids. And I think that it was at that moment where I saw the sirens of the water police, the FWC. Thank you to the people who serve this great county. I love you guys. You're the reason why I'm still alive. Appreciate you. And they showed up and they saved me and my wife. They picked up my wife from the shore and they got us back to where we were supposed to be. Almost said it. You almost caught me, but I didn't say it. And in any case, so since that time I've been thinking, what is it that I could share with you? And it's been on my mind and on my heart because it's been so recent as to what just happened to me. You know, it's when your life flashes before your eyes that you begin to think about things and you see things differently. When you have a near-death experience, you begin to really question what are the important things in life. Kind of similar to what happened during this time of quarantine, where we got a chance to really go back to basics, if I may use that term. Sorry, Mike Battenberg, I know that's your word, that's your phrase. Just let me borrow it for this one. But you know, it's just important for us to really focus. And so while I was thinking about that day and what happened, you know, God just really spoke to me. After it was all done, after I got home, I dried off, I spit up some salt water, got my system all cleared up. It came to this verse. In James chapter 4, it says, how do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? It's a good question. Your life is like a morning fog. Other versions say a vapor. It's here for a little while and then it's gone. Here today and then it's gone. And I thought about my life and I thought about all the things that flashed before me, you know. I just recently had a 50th birthday, and so I'm in the second half of my life, although I think I was in the second half of my life before that. But I'm gonna use that as the timeline mark. And since then, I've been thinking about the second half of my life and how I'm gonna make it count and what kind of legacy I wanna leave behind. And I started thinking about all these things, and then this happens to me just recently, and I'm really thinking about all the important things. You know, sometimes we can't see the forest because of the trees. Sometimes we get stressed and consumed by little details. Sometimes the things that take up most of our time are the things that don't matter, or the things that don't amount to a whole lot. Sometimes we get stressed and consumed by little things that rob us of the joy of the big picture, rob us of the joy of knowing and focusing and recognizing what's important. And so today I want to focus on that. Gentlemen, have you ever given it some thought? Have you ever thought about, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, what is it that's important? I can tell you what is important to God is the souls of men. That's important to God. It's not how we look or what we have or how much we have or where we've been or where we're going or even how much we know. It's about the souls of men. Men and women, of course, I say that lovingly, but it's about making a difference. It's about men being created for men. You know, we're created for each other. We were never intended to live alone and out of community. And so that's, to me, one of the most important things that we can figure out as men, as people, as the people of God. What's important? And to God, you know what's important? You and your neighbor. You and the people around you. And so what are we doing to be able to affect that? What are we doing to be able to touch the souls and the hearts of other people? You know, it's interesting to me, while I was sitting out there in the ocean, wondering if I was going to ever see land again, wondering if I was going to be ushered into the loving arms of Jesus. And don't get me wrong, I do want to be there. I do. But I don't want to get there before time, you know what I mean? And so I was thinking, what have I done with my life? What difference has my life made? What have I been able to accomplish with the gift that God has given me? You know, none of us knows what our last day is going to be. None of us knows what tomorrow is going to be. We can only seize the moment that we're in. And my question to you, are you seizing that moment? Are you seizing the moment with your sons and your daughters, with your wives, and ladies, if you're listening, with your husbands? Are we seizing that moment to make a difference in our friends' lives? Do they even know what we believe? Do they know what we stand for? Have we been in uncomfortable situations so that we could be a difference? Have you ever thought about what it is that God would have you do? And many times we over spiritualize things. And I'm not saying that there isn't a spiritual aspect to things, but I do believe in a very practical aspect. And so what are we doing to be the hands of Jesus before this life is over? What are we doing to make an impact and leave a legacy before this life is over? What is it that we're leaving to our sons and our daughters before this life is over? Is it something everlasting? Is it something that's going to make a difference throughout eternity? Is it something that's going to impact the lives of men and women? Is it something that's going to glorify God? That's going to bring God's love awareness to people? I want to ask you today to take some time out. You could do like I did. Come out here, wherever here is, and just take a walk, meditate, concentrate, focus, and listen to what God would have you do. If you're like me and you're in the second half of your life and you've thought about what it is that you're going to leave behind, I would encourage you to include God, to make him part of the process, part of the system that you're going to use to figure out what you're going to leave behind. Guys, I want to see the best for all of you, whether you're in the first half or the second half, whether you're beginning or you're going to finish strong. Or maybe you're in the middle trying to figure it all out. Whatever it is you're going to do, always think about this. You can't change yesterday. You can't do a whole lot to change your tomorrow, but you can certainly do a lot today, right now, to impact your tomorrow, to impact the now, and to take advantage of the lessons of yesterday. So guys, I want to encourage you. Your life matters. You are important, and what you do is important. Don't ever think that it's not. God has given you a gift, and he's given you a gift because he believes that you are responsible enough to make it count. Guys, let's make it count. Let's change the things in our lives that rob us of the joy of being sons and daughters of the living God. Let's go after those things that stop us from entering and walking and living in the fullness of God. And let's look at life not from the perspective of what can make my life better, what can make me better, what can I get, but let's look at it from a perspective of what's God's heart and whose life can I make better, whose life can I give to, whose life can I pour into, how can I make a difference for someone else. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I discovered this a little while ago, and it is true. Your fulfillment and your joy doesn't come from what you get. It comes from what you're able to give. And so as I examined my life and I looked at how short it is, really, I asked the Lord, Father, give me opportunities to give all that I can give, to pour into someone's life all that I can pour, to be in your hands so that you could use me to bless others. And I know, God, that it is in that I will receive my true blessing, my true satisfaction, and my true purpose. Guys, take a look around. I am in paradise. It's gorgeous out here. A little windy, a little windy. Every time I spit my seeds out, they go the wrong way. Sometimes they land on me, but that's okay. Take a look around and ask yourself, where is Pastor Joe today? Guys, I love you. I can't wait till we're hanging out together. Soon, it will come soon. And just let's continue to pray. Let's continue to be there for each other. Send out a text to somebody you haven't heard from in a long time. Send an email, a phone call. Meet for virtual coffee. I don't know. But stay connected, guys. I need you. I need you to stay connected with me, God, and with each other. Love you, and I'll talk to you soon.